Exchange motivations, diversification. Diversification of properties is a practice of spreading investments across different asset types and markets for the purpose of reducing risk for a specific market segment, a geographic location, or maybe a particular asset type. So what this looks like is maybe you own commercial properties, right, that are located in an area that is not seeing high vacancy and a lot of companies are pulling out of. Well, in that case, you certainly wouldn't want to have all of your real estate being held in that commercial space. So in this instance, right, that could be a situation where a client sells that commercial and diversifies into a multifamily asset or a passive fund or a multitude of both, right? Detached homes, fourplex. It's really being able to make sure you're not exposed to one particular location or type of asset per se, so that in the event something catastrophic happens, like a natural disaster, which very fitting, we're on the heels of a 1-year anniversary for Ian that struck near the Tampa Bay area of Florida. Naturally, you wouldn't want to have all your assets in that location, or you'd be out income for several years, I'd imagine. In this case, the purpose of diversification is to really insulate yourself as much as possible from economic downturns, to make sure that you're creating more of a mutual fund or portfolio effect. One of the examples I have here is if we show the appreciation rate in August of this year, we took the highest market appreciation rate in Miami at 8.9% and the lowest in Phoenix of negative 5.5. Now, if you were in Miami in August, that would be awesome, right? That would be an ideal outcome for you. And yet, if you were in Phoenix, not so much. Yet, if you had properties in both those locations, the cumulative effect would be that you'd both be at 3.4% positive, right? So instead of being at the top or the bottom, you'd be able to find yourself somewhere in the middle. And that really is what you find when you're in the portfolio effect of increasing your efficiencies with having properties that perform in different asset types or different market types, so that you can realize a more stable outcome year in and year out. Other examples of this would be San Diego. In June 24th of this year, we saw the Tenant Protections Act come into place. This is another situation where we don't have control of what government regulations come into play. And yet, if you owned all your assets here in San Diego, and you happen to be in that situation where these are properties that might be below market rent or need repairs, you're going to find yourself in a really sticky situation because of the new Tenant Protection Acts are going to require a lot of time and money out of your pocket to get those things done. Now, if you own one asset here and other assets in a different location, naturally you wouldn't feel the impact of that as much had you owned all your properties here. So really what we're trying to accomplish here through the exchange is if there's an opportunity for you to stabilize or improve your risk from the market conditions, from maybe government responses, or even look at an example of insurance that we've seen here change dramatically in the past few years. They have redrawn the fire maps here in San Diego County. And what that means is that if your house is now in a fire location, your insurance cost could be twofold. So instead of spending $2,000 a month, you could be looking at $4,000. Very similar situation in Florida with insurance and obviously flooding. So understanding this practice of diversification is to help insulate you from situations like that. And naturally, the more assets you have and the longer you've owned them, the more stable environment that you're seeking, right, to eliminate surprises or volatility down the road.